Hey, you sexy bitch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now, usually my YouTube channel mainly consists of, what I consider like to be geeky and nerdy stuff, like film reviews, comic book news. I talk about WWE, books, and that's usually what I talk about. But this is a topic that I honestly have to address and want to address, and it's been on my shoulders for such a long time. Now, I know this may be an issue most people do not like to discuss or even think about. On the other hand, I believe it should be discussed because many men out here and women believe that being black is not, being seen as beautiful. And honestly, I believe that's a bunch of bull. All people, in my opinion, not even in my opinion, it's a fact. All people are beautiful and should be seen in a positive way, in a positive light. And to all the individuals who say, I don't like black men or women, and then add all the stereotypes onto it, I think, for one, you should get a really good history lesson and think about what you're actually saying. The only reason dark-skinned men and women are seen negatively is because when European people enslaved Africans and brainwashed them into thinking they are nothing, thinking they're not beautiful, they believe them into thinking they're not beautiful and should be viewed in a horrible way and just really like you're nothing. And they brainwashed them into this condition of, the lighter your complexion, the better you are. That mindset has been passed down from generation after generation, and I'm glad that I finally have the chance to talk about it. I personally enjoy all the colors, shapes, and sizes and tones of the rainbow. And I do not dare limit myself to the beautiful world around me. Now, I'm sure you've heard it. Men and even some women say it like, oh, I don't like black women or I don't like black men, even though I'm not racist. That's always like the opening statement. I don't agree with that at all. And I'm going to give you a personal example. I have two friends. I won't say their names. They're two good friends of mine. One of them is even my best friend. He says, oh, I don't like black women. I don't find them attractive. And we always have conversations about this. He really does like, how can I put this, what society tells him to like. And I understand that. That's his conditioning. His conditioning has been conditioned. I could have sworn I heard that on the album by Black Star. But yeah, your conditioning has been conditioned. And then he's like, I don't like black women for these reasons. And he literally says, they're loud, they're ghetto, they're ratchet, and they have an attitude, and he just doesn't like it. And we always have a conversation about how society tells us what we should find beautiful, but he disagrees with me. So this is just something I really wanted to talk about for a long time. And it's not just my two friends who think this. I understand it's a lot of people out here, and it shows how our society favors lighter-skinned people and lighter-skinned women over black women. And this video is not just about black women. It's about women who are black or just not white, like meaning they're of other races. I'll even throw in Hispanic and Indian women in there and other races as well, or even mixed women. But it shows how our society favors lighter-skinned people, how our society is racist, unaccepting, and very, very prejudiced. You see, I'm going to try and throw in a very quick history lesson here. Like how I mentioned how, European people enslaved Africans and brainwashed them into thinking they are nothing. They brainwashed them into thinking they're not beautiful. Yeah, so that's why. And also they had the brown paper bag test where if your complexion is darker than a brown paper bag, you're seen as ugly and just not an attractive person. It also has to do with American slavery, as I previously mentioned, and how, God, I know this isn't the popular thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's how I feel, and I'm going to keep it real. How, white is pure, white is good. For anybody who's seen that Uncle Ruckus episode of the Boondocks where he praised white Jesus and how white is good, that's what they did to a lot of American slaves of African descent, and just that brainwashing continued generation after generation. And they also bashed, African style, African fashion, and even the Kenneth and Mamie Clark doll experiment showed how our society favors lighter-skinned people. And to all the men who were saying, I don't like black women are so unattractive, they're so ratchet. I don't even use that word ratchet, it sounds weird to me. I don't understand this. Like, why are you saying this? Like, don't let society tell you who you should be. Like me personally, some of the most attractive women I personally have seen have been people who are not white. Don't get me wrong, I've seen some beautiful white women, but I've seen so many beautiful black women. Like I remember one time I went to Disney Springs and they had this African-themed restaurant, and I was talking to this young lady from South Africa. She had a beautiful accent, beautiful hair, beautiful style and fashion, and she was honestly one of the most beautiful women I've seen in my entire life. And God, just thinking about her, yeah, makes me feel good. And it's just something about and I know I'm trying not to sound too incorrect, but something about hugging a black woman and someone of another race, if you're part of another race, feels so good. Like, you connect with that person. And I don't want you to think I'm bashing light-skinned people, because I'm not. Like I said, I do find all women attractive, but this video primarily focuses on black women and other races. Like, honestly, can you look at this video and say, hey, none of these women are attractive. I don't like any of them. And I think all the stereotypes that come with black women and black people come with these women. Like, really, take a look at some of the women. Like, I personally think they're gorgeous. That's why I threw them in the video. Also, I would like to take a second to talk about how this self-hate affects society. You see, black women out here, they have low self-esteem for the way they look. They hate the way they look. We've all heard it before. Black women will have issue with their hair, and they'll say things like they hate their hair, which I personally love a black woman with very nice hair, or even a thick afro. It creates racism within the race. Like, like Viola Davis in the documentary Dark Girls talks about how it was actually the black boys who would say, oh, you're so black, you're hideous. And I've heard it before. And it's not just with black people, it's racism within the race. Like Hispanics will act like they don't like Mexicans, and just things like that. But yeah, I've heard it before. Like, black people have said things like, oh my God, you look so African, you look so black. That is such an Uncle Tom way of thinking. You sound stupid as all hell, and it's racist, and I don't understand how people can think like that. And it really is a form of racism within our society. It also creates racial self-hate. I personally know someone in my family who's like, oh man, I wish I could change my complexion, and I don't like that. We should be proud of who we are as, the black race. Also, one thing I also have to talk about, which I find really bad, bleaching the skin, which can lead to skin cancer and all these horrible things. It also creates low confidence in women, and it also affects white people and white women as well, because there are some white women who walk around here saying, oh my God, I look like every other white woman that's on a magazine cover. I am so beautiful. I am so glorious. Look at me. Not all white women, but I have met a few. So they, in a way, they actually think they're better, which isn't good for anyone. Another thing I have to talk about is how society tells us what we should find attractive, and this has always been the case. I mean, really, if society told us, you should like, people with missing limbs who have no eyeballs, and if they said this generation after generation, hell, we would want some women out here with no eyeballs. or whatever. But really, society tells us what we should find attractive. And really, what do you see in our American society here in the United States? You see Caucasian women who are very skinny with blonde, straight hair. And me personally, I never got into Playboy. Like, I'm one of the few dudes out here who will say, oh, Playboy actually really does have interesting articles and not really care for the women. Because really, all the women are photoshopped and look exactly the same. And how often do you see, a dark-skinned person, a black person, an Indian person, an Asian person on the cover of a magazine? You hardly don't, unless it's double XL or smooth. But really, I just wish we as a society would kind of move on from the, typical skinny blonde white girl and accept everyone. So what should we do as a society? Honestly, if you're listening to this video, I would say be you, be happy, regardless of your race, regardless of your hair texture. And if you're a black woman, hey, I have love for you. I really do. Or else why would I be making this video? And I think we should accept others, open your mind. And to all the people who are like, oh man, I can't stand these black women, especially black men who say that, really shut up, because you have no idea what you're talking about. Your conditioning has been conditioned, and you most likely, actually, if you are a black man, you came from a black woman. If you had a dark-skinned child, really, would you hate your children, your child? So really, just open your mind. And beauty is so much more than what you see on the cover of a Playboy magazine or something else. It's, your goals, your values, your dreams, your style. It's you. Society has, always looked down on black people and darker skinned races. But I feel like now is the time to, be black and proud, especially for women. To have confidence, to love yourself, for us to love everyone and accept everyone. I really think this is the time to make this happen. There comes a time in society where the people within the society have to say, every once in a while, screw you, I'm going to be me, I'm going to do me. I'm not going to let you define every little thing that I do. At the end of the day, all I can be is me. And also, people, please stop saying, oh, you're so pretty, for a dark-skinned girl, you're so pretty for a mixed girl, you're so pretty for an Indian girl. Like, please stop that nonsense. It's just, why can't somebody just be seen as beautiful? Like, seriously. And you have to have love for yourself. Like, seriously. If you don't love yourself, who will? And it's getting to the point where even if you compliment, somebody of a darker race or a black woman, like, they can't even accept the compliment. Like, really, I told this one girl, like, how beautiful, like, I thought she was beautiful, and, we were getting to know each other, but she just, for the life of her, could not take a compliment. She, like, I would say something like, oh my God, I love your hair, or you're very stylish, and she would say, yeah, I guess, for a black girl or whatever. And really, I just had to tell her, like, stop saying that. Like, just be happy about who you are and accept the compliment. And please stop throwing those stereotypes that come with black women and, like, what we see on shows like Jerry Springer and Maury, the ratchet girls, the buck wild girls, the rowdy girls, the party girl, the girl that's willing to curse y'all in a heartbeat for no reason. Just stop giving all these negative stereotypes to black women, like, really. And if that's still not good enough for you, look at what black women have done. I mean, my favorite actress of all time is Pam Grier. You may know her from the movie Coffee and Foxy Brown. I showed her picture earlier in the beginning of the video. Like, really, she was seen as beautiful, dominant, a badass chick, and just, I feel like she was more than just an inspiration for black women, but women everywhere. And also check out the Dark Girls documentary. It's really good, and it's pretty much saying what I'm saying, just with more of an emphasis, and with interviews. It's a wonderful documentary. And I honestly hope you all are enjoying this video. It is different from what I usually do. It's just something I really wanted to talk about for a long time, get off my chest, and I know it's different from me. I'm going to get back to the movie reviews and television show reviews and all of that. But this is just something I really wanted to talk about. Like, really, I just can't believe my friend was like, oh man, I wouldn't even touch Zoe Kravitz. And I'm like, she is gorgeous. Like, come on, dude, what is wrong with you? Anyways, I had fun making this video. I hope you had fun listening, and I hope you're hearing me out, and I hope I'm not too preachy, and I just hope you can take what I'm saying and what other people are saying into consideration. I'm not the only one saying this. Society is finally standing up and waking up and realizing certain things, and I'm glad that's happening. Thank you all so much for listening to this video, and if anything, hey, black women, I have love for you. I really do. Mixed race women, I have love for you. Indian women, Asian women, all women, I have love for you. And hopefully, in time, very soon, we will all love each other, and you will love yourself. Take it easy. Have a good day. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.